What's good, bro? How you doing? Smooth, man. Uh, very a lot of sitting around and waiting for the most part. Yeah, yeah. Like teams, I met with the Colts, Bucks, Falcons, um, Colts, Bucks, Falcons, Rams, and one more team. I forgot. My mind's fried. My mind's- Yeah, they were formal. I had like 15 informals. Yeah, I forgot all the teams. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it was a mentality, but that was also one of the things they was teaching at Minnesota. We call it shoot tackling. It's like the most effective way to get a bigger guy on the ground. So that's how I went. Yeah. I feel like I'm very versatile and all around. I feel like my man is just as good as my zone. Not sure how teams feel about it or not, but to me, I feel like it's just as good. I think my IQ, a lot of the times, it's just like I'm just so happen in the right spot, but it's a lot of meaning and depth behind where I'm at. I'm pretty much always in the right spot at the right time, and I feel like my IQ is a big reason for that. It just truly shows how much and how true that is. Um, Pretty sure most of us here were there all of our years, and we all started out as not that good of players. I know I wasn't that big of a recruit. I'm pretty sure Cody wasn't, and we all developed into some pretty good players. And it just shows the culture we have and the dedication we have at the University of Minnesota. It's great. I mean, he really creates a brotherhood. I know in this day and age with NIL and the portal, it's really hard to have a team that's all in for each other, and the culture it just creates that. I feel like I'm very versatile, very physical. I can do anything on the field. I can play a variety of positions, a variety of coverages. I know Minnesota, we pretty much played everything you can play, and that helped me out a lot.
When you say physical, is that a physicality coverage, or are you comfortable coming up in the run game?
I'm pretty much physical in all aspects. I feel like in the run game, pressing, getting off blocks. I know at Minnesota we teach physicality, so no matter what it is, we always compete and be physical.
You always talk about quote unquote mental reps, and obviously you prefer to be out there doing everything you would like to do physically. But what have you been sharpening with the part of you that can still go full out, your brain?
Say it one more time.
Obviously you've got to take a lot of mental reps, as they call them, because of fighting back from the injury. What are the things you're doing to sharpen your brain, getting ready for the things you're going to have to do in terms of multiple coverages and things like that?
Well, one thing I'm doing now, like every night in my room, I'm drawing up coverages that we played in Minnesota, just in case any team wants to know what we did. I'm like every night I'm still sharpening my details on that. And even back at Minnesota, one thing we did for mental reps where we would stand behind the defense, and you would get in your stance, take the right steps as a guy that was actually in the practice or in the game doing, and it really helps you out a lot.
As a communicator, what are the things that will help you if you're ever asked to be the guy that gets guys aligned better?
One more time, I'm sorry.
As a communicator, if you're asked to be the guy that gets guys aligned in the back end, what are the things that will help you do that?
I think preparation is the biggest thing. I come from Minnesota. We prepare a lot. We prepare every week like we're playing the best team in the country. And when you go on the field prepared, you're able to communicate anything you need to communicate.
Who helped you? Who helped you to unlock that? The film study, the student of the game part of the game.
I really think Coach Monroe, because he came in right before my junior year, and he really brought that aspect to my game, more of like the mental side of it, like knowing what to call, when to call, and not just knowing what I'm doing by myself, but helping other guys get the line and getting the right coverage them too.
Thank you. I'm just curious, are the guys who watch the NFL or guys who like take certain parts from and get a live action
So it's really two guys. One guy's Trent McDuffie. He's a guy that's very versatile. He play inside, outside. Very good in man coverage, very good in zone coverage. And another guy is Kenny Moore. He played the Colts. He's a smaller guy, but he plays a lot bigger than he actually is. And he plays in the box a lot, but he's really a nickel that really shines and I look up to. I'm both nickel and corner. A lot of teams see me as a guy that can play both of them, and that's why I feel like my value really is where I can play inside and outside.
Watching the Super Bowl and watching Nickel, one of the big impact players in that game, what was that like for you? What's trying to kind of good timing for you?
Yeah.
Trying to prove yourself as a nickel type player?
Yeah, it's a great time because really nickels are it's not a newer position, but it's a position that a lot of guys are excelling in a lot more now, and it's becoming like a true starter on the field now. And pretty much every defense uses a nickel, and just to seeing guys make plays at nickel is just it makes me look forward to something.
Played a great conference. There were some receivers you've gone against over the years that really challenged you or impressed you?
Well, one of the most impressive receivers I've ever faced was Daniel Jackson. He's on my team. I went against him all 4 years of my career, and to this day, I really think he's one of the best receivers I've ever faced. He can do anything. He can run any route. He had great hands, and he's just an all-around great player. Felton from Maryland. I know going in that week we really emphasized on limiting him to what he could do, and he really showed how very versatile he was. And so, yeah, he was pretty good. I also think Tyler Warren, he isn't a receiver, but he basically played anything, and he was a very good player too.
In the Super Bowl, we just saw the power of pattern matching defense. What's your approach, and what's helped you to understand how to match patterns?
Really just my knowledge of the game, knowing what route concepts come at what times. If you see a certain route, that you may get another route behind it, and just the knowledge of the game really helps you understand what offenses are trying to do.
What are the defenses that you are most familiar with so far?
Quarters. We ran a lot of quarters at Minnesota. Quarters and man coverage. I'm pretty familiar with both of those. But we also ran cover 3, cover 2.
You ever jump into like quarter, half, cover 6?
Yep, we ran a lot of quarter 6 my first two years when I had Coach Rossi. He really likes cover 6. But yeah, I'm pretty familiar with him.
And if someone wants to see you as a tackler, what's the game you show to show that you as a tackler?
I think Wisconsin. I had a pretty good game tackling. I think that was my most consistent game tackling, and a game that I really emphasized tackling the most.
And do you know if you'll be full go by your pro day, or will you not be able to go by?
I get a CT scan the week before pro day, so it all depends on how that goes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, guys.